University of Houston. Thank you all so very much for being here. A lot of alumni, boosters, our student athletes, the media, we welcome each and every one of you. Most of all, we welcome Houston Cougar fans. I know it was a bit of a stretch getting here today with the weather, stepping through the raindrops and braving the elements. The reason I'm so good at this is because it's going to be very, very quick in what I have to say. We want to welcome Chris Pesman, the Director of Intercollegiate Athletics here, Tillman Fertitta, as well as Chancellor Couture as well. We want to get things started by introducing the Director of the Board of Regents here at the University of Houston, Tillman Fertitta.
Thank you. Well, first off, I can promise you this. This is my last press conference to introduce a new head of athletics or football. Next time, they're going to be introducing a new chairman, and nobody's going to give a damn. So we're not doing this anymore. I think it's been a haul, but I think we have the right head basketball coach, and I'm just going to talk about the big three for a second. The head basketball coach, and I think we truly do have the right football coach, and like I said, we're not doing a search. We're getting one of our own who's not looking for their next job, and bringing in Chris Pesman, who has great vision for this university, who I think is going to hopefully not have that many, but we'll have a few more of these in his tenure. But and of course, great leadership from our Chancellor right here. But this is a great day for Cougar athletics. You know, we're going to worry about ourselves today. We're going to always make the right decision, and we're going to know when to make the right decision. And we truly thank Major for stepping in a special time when we lost our head coach and we won some good football games, but we felt like it was time to take it to the next level. And we wanted somebody that had the leadership skills to win a lot of games. And we're not going to say what we demand anymore because I've read it all over the country in the last 2 years. But you can just push repeat. And I think Dana, when you look at what he's accomplished, and he's one of the top 20 college coaches and one of the great offensive minds, but more than anything else, he's a leader. And I'm going to tell you, I think he's truly the right person for this job. We need boosters and everybody else to support this team. You know, if you have a company, buy an extra 20 tickets up in the upper level and give them to your employees to go to, because the university is not going to support the athletic department. We need to be like any other serious athletic program, and it needs to operate on its own. And I'm going to do my part, and everybody, for whatever they can do. We all know what we can do needs to step up, and if you want to win, there's a cost of winning. And I challenge myself and everybody in this room to help step up, and let's do the right thing, because there is nothing like wins, and we all know that. Congratulations to Coach Sampson, if he's here, to be 14-0. And it's a wonderful experience to go to a Cougar game today and that basketball arena and not only enjoy the victories, but to see all of you guys there, all of y'all there. I'm not in New York right now. So thank y'all very much for all showing up today. And Chancellor, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, I'm very pleased and excited to welcome Dana Holgorsen as our head football coach. But in order to be able to be here, you know that we have gone through a lot in 11 years, so I want to thank all of those coaches and athletic directors who have helped build us to this point, where it is absolutely another evidence. For us to be able to attract a coach of the caliber and expertise and experience of Dana, I can tell you that it is another evidence the University of Houston has arrived. So definitely I want to thank everybody else who has done in their own time, their own part, their own ways. They have helped us become who we are today. But I want to really acknowledge the tenacious leadership of Chris Pesman during this process. his pursuit for excellence, not settling for anything less, was just unbelievable. So thank you, Chris. Really appreciate what you're doing for us, your passion.
Yes,
And now, obviously, I want to thank also our chairman and also the Board of Regents. You know, I always say the University of Houston likes to think big, but it's only until you take your idea in front of the chairman that you realize that your thinking is small. And he'll expand your borders more even. So just a lot of thanks to Chairman Fertitta for really helping in this process. We're building a university athletically, academically, with the medical school coming. I mean, it's just, we are really going on very strong at this point. I want to thank all the fans, because without you, there is no athletics program, and we got to have an excellent athletics program because that's what is an asset to the university. A mediocre program is not an asset, it's a liability. I want to have an asset. So our goal has always remained exactly the same and remains exactly the same today, and that is we are building a nationally relevant program. And in order to do national relevant program, whether it's football or basketball or athletics program as a whole, or you can ask me about any academic program, if you want to be nationally relevant, there are certain important elements. And first one of them is having a winning program. Now, you can argue with me, but I just don't know any other way of making a program relevant where we are if we are not winning. So yes, my expectations are we do win games. Number two, and you can define it any way you want to define it, but I'm not backing off from it. Not backing off. And I did ask Coach that question, right? And I asked Coach that. I said, are you nervous about or any of that? And he didn't even blink. So, you know, that's your good sign. Second thing that's really important is for the athletics program to be in sync with the university and its goals. And university's goal has been a student success. For us, that is absolutely fundamental. That's our core mission. That's why we are a university. And so the second expectation I have is really for our student athletes to succeed, not just on the field, but definitely in classrooms as well as in lives. And finally, I want to make sure that's clear too, that we want to have a clean, compliant program. We do not want, issues from here and there, and therefore, we are always looking for leaders who can assure us for all of that. And we found that kind of coach in Dana. I told him I'm calling him Dana until he becomes our coach. He signs on the agreement. So now he's our coach, Holgorsen. And we are very happy, excited, delighted, and we know together we can do great things because this is Houston. I mean, things you can do in Houston, you cannot do in many other places. I mean, I know that, and that's why I'm here. I know Houston provides such an opportunity. So we have all the tools here. Our commitment is serious. Our investment is serious. And let's go win some games, Coach. Yes, we do want to win some games.
So I always feel like I'm following rock stars when I follow Tillman and Renew. So it's like having to follow up Elvis at a band or a rock concert. So I'll just keep my comments really brief. But there's a couple people that it's really important we think. This is always a unique process when you have the opportunity to go through finding a coach of Coach Holgorsen's caliber, and it comes with a lot of effort from a lot of different people, and there's some people in here that we need to recognize real quick, and we'll do just applause at the end. But our current student athletes that are in the room, we had our current players meet Coach just briefly before here, a section of them. Thank you guys for being out here today. That was really important for us. Obviously, with our current coaches in other sports, I don't believe Coach Sampson could be here. He had practice, but what he's doing across the street over there and where we're going, I was telling Dana that's a model that we aspire to follow, that Coach Sampson's established with that basketball program. That's a program that those kids play really hard, really gritty. They may not always be the most talented, but they're going to play their butt off, and you can see the results of that and that commitment. And the other part of that is the amount of time that he's been given to develop that program, and that's part of how we got to where we are today with Coach Holgorsen. We have regents that are here, our current and former regents. Thank you for being here as well. and a few of our partners on campus administrators. Donna Cornell, who's our general counsel, is an invaluable resource for us and for me personally. She's very helpful through this entire process and helps us navigate the politics and the legalese of getting to this point. So thank you, Donna, wherever you are. Raymond Bartlett, our assistant CFO. Thank you, Raymond, for coming. I'll be seeing you in a couple days. Help get some things paid for. I'm just kidding. That's on me. And then last but not least, our chairman, Fatita, and Chancellor Couture. One of the biggest things that we've talked about, and you've heard me say previously, is the alignment that we have within our campus right now. From the Board of Regents, the campus administration, from Tillman to Renew to everybody. And it doesn't just resonate within athletics, it resonates throughout the entire campus. And you can see it in everything that's happening, from Tier 1 status to the housing projects that are being developed to the medical school. Those are things that we keep talking about, but the significance of those and how much that's happened in the period of time is unprecedented. And it's a great opportunity for us to be here. It wasn't a hard sell when I started Dana, I think it had been almost 10 years since you'd actually been on campus and driving around and just, saying this is new, that's new. And I said I sound like a broken record because everything's new, everything's under construction. There's plans for this place as we continue to grow. But you look around what we have within athletics and what's been done in the last 5.5, 6 years between the football stadium, the arena, the practice facilities, and it's not just for the principal sports, it's for all sports. A lot of people don't know we just added a banked track inside the Athletics Alumni Center this last week. We're one of 10 schools in the country that has that. That's representative of one of the top track programs that we have in the entire country. Those are the commitments that we're making, and that's where we're going to continue to strive to be the very best that we can be, and that is a high level of excellence. So with that, I'm going to ask Coach Holgorsen to stand up and introduce him as our official head coach. You guys, if you want to stand up here, let's stand over there by
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be home. It's great to be home. Thank you all very much. This is a warm welcome, and I certainly appreciate each and everybody being out here today to support this. This means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the University of Houston. It means a lot to our athletic department and our football department as well. I got a few people I need to thank as well. We're going to start with the most important person, Chancellor Couture, is done such an outstanding job. You don't remember meeting me, but I did meet you. About 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I did meet you, but I was just this little young offensive coordinator that didn't care about a whole lot other than just trying to score points. And my vision now has changed, and it's exciting to be able to work with someone that has such vision for the university. And you've done such an outstanding job here over the last 11 years. I see it, and I've followed it for the last 11 years as well. Chairman Tillman Fertitta is who needs no introduction across the entire world, let alone this campus, but for what he's done for the University of Houston has been awesome. What you've done for the city of Houston has been awesome. I've bumped into Tillman several times just because, when I left here 10 years ago, I left here with a frown because, one, I was going to Oklahoma, but two, I just loved this city and this university so much. But obviously things worked out okay, but I always came back. I came back 2, 3, 4, or 5 times a year. And just enjoyed what this wonderful city has to offer. And you're a big part of why this city is what it is. And then athletics director, Mr. Pesman, Chris, you've done an outstanding job in your short time here. And I've really appreciated our conversations here over the last few days with what your vision is, as far as for what the athletic department needs to be doing well. So we're in great hands, okay? And I appreciate everybody being here. The support that y'all have given the University of Houston is is awesome. It's been great to be able to follow it, and I've never lost touch of the fact that this place gave me something special for 2 years, and I'm glad to be back, okay? I did have that conversation with a couple of the boosters and alumni here when I left. I said, bye, but I'm going to be back, okay? At some point here, I'm going to be back, and to me, this is a wonderful time to be able to be back. I've enjoyed my 8 years at West Virginia, in West Virginia at WVU. That was a special 8 years for me. We built that thing up from what was the Big East 8 years ago, transitioned into the Big 12 7 years ago, and I've had a lot of success over the last 7 years, winning games, running a clean program, making sure that we get our student athletes graduated. So I do want to thank West Virginia University, the state of West Virginia, and all our student athletes that did such an outstanding job, as young men and becoming great citizens after that. So that's my vision for the University of Houston and our football program, is to do the same thing. Just run a clean program, bring student athletes in here that not only represent the university on the field the right way by winning games, acting right, but also doing a great job in the classroom and in the community as well. So that's very important to me. My family is very important to me. They've been with me through and through. All three of my children, Logan, Carlin, and McLean, have been in this stadium watching a lot of games, and they're excited about being able to come back. They're excited to be back in the state of Texas, excited to be back in the city of Houston, and they mean a lot to me. My son, Logan, is in the back. He'll be enrolling here in 2 weeks. He's a midterm graduate, so he's excited about it. This was always his favorite school. Always his favorite school, so he's going to be a Coug here in about 10 days when school starts back up. My brother Brett, who's a high school coach over in Katy, who's excited about being here. My nephew Clayton is in the back as well, who played a game over here. He was just wearing the Memphis colors a few years ago. But my family's important to me. My mom and dad have always been with me throughout thick and through. They're gonna stay back home and sell my house. Somebody needs to buy my house, and they're gonna make sure that happens, and then we'll relocate down here. So they're excited about the move as well. So listen, make no mistake about it. We're here to win championships, and I've met about 24 of the young men already, and have had several conversations with this quarterback that's pretty good. And excited to continue having these conversations with him. Outstanding young men, student athletes, representatives of the University of Houston and the city of Houston. So look forward to continuing to develop relationships with those guys and starting to hire a staff. You see a couple of the guys that are here, obviously one face that's very familiar to everybody, but we'll start bringing a first-class, top-notch staff that can not only recruit this great state and this city the proper way, but bring guys in that have the vision of winning championships as well. So there is so much to look forward to. The future is extremely bright. I am honored to be here. I'm excited to be here. This is not a stepping stone. I've been there. I've done all that. I'm excited about making this place great and to winning championships here and enjoying this great city and this great university of what the vision is from our outstanding leadership the way it is. So thank you very much. I'm going to take a few questions here in a minute and everything, but that's my remarks. Thank you. Go Cougs.
All right, we'll open it up for questions from the media. Just call for the microphone and it's taken care of. Great.
Dana, welcome. Thank you. I know you love the city, and I know you loved your time here. Why leave West Virginia to come here, and what is possible? You say championships. What kind of championships are we talking about at U of H?
Well, we're a member of the American Football Conference, so the American Athletic Conference, and my goal, which is the only thing that I can affect, is to be able to win a football championship, a conference championship. That's the goal. I don't care where you're at. I don't care what conference you're in. That's everybody's goal. So, I'm excited about being here just based on the potential of what this great university has going. With the leadership that it has. The facilities are getting there. We guys still got a lot of work to do, but I believe that we can bring a first-class, top-notch program in here with the student athletes that want to be a part of this to win championships. That's what I'm after.
Dana, what is it about the University of Houston and the city of Houston overall that you love and you call home?
Well, seeing as how the chairman owns all these restaurants, I'm going to say food. food and entertainment. It's what, I tell you what and I know what questions are coming, but just as far as what I look for and what this job has is the opportunity to win. There's an opportunity to win and win big here and win championships. And then, quality of life is very important because not only does that affect me, but it also affects my family. It affects the coaches and the coaches' families, and it affects the student athletes. So which is a direct tie to recruiting. So you have something that you can recruit to, and so to me, that you have an opportunity to be great here, and that's why I love this university, and that's why I love this city.
Dana, unlike a lot of coaching changes, you are not taking over a team that won 2, 3, or 4 games. So what is your biggest challenge now coming to Houston?
It's no different than what I just did. I took over a program 9 years ago that won 9. To me, that's positive because guys know how to win. Student athletes know how to win. Fan base knows how to win. Fan base knows how to rally and show their support. So that makes it all the more attractive, all the more exciting. And this is a program that understands what the expectations are. I don't want to be somewhere where the expectations aren't high. I want to be somewhere where the expectations are high.
Since Mike is not over on this side, Dr. Kevin Sims, Director of African American Coach Association, this question is to Tillman and Renew. Why did searches open up for qualified African Americans as well? And also, why we call you on to partner up? We like to partner up with you on the coach. So my niece went to West Virginia, and she says you're a great coach, and we got a great coach coming, and she's excited about it. But what my concern is that why wouldn't it open up to other minorities to apply?
If I may, I can answer that.
Second question, Phil, was that your call or Renew's call?
We interviewed a spectrum of candidates of all diversity. So it was not just one person, one moment. It was a spectrum of people that we spoke with. So I don't know where you got that perception. We're not going to actively talk about who we interviewed because we don't want to affect their current employment situation, but we spoke to a number of people. Okay.
I can tell you this, at the University of Houston, we have a colorblind process. And if we decide to go after somebody, we go after them. And I don't care if they're white or black or Chinese or Indian, okay? Because we decided who we wanted to go after, and we went after them, and I just don't think it's a good question, and I think it's inappropriate for even asking us that.
Dana, you played in coached in multiple conferences. You were in the Big 12, great fan base, 60,000 seat stadium. Does this school eventually need to get into a Power 5 for you to be able to win championships? How do you view going from the Big 12 to the AAC?
Well, I really don't think a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. I mean, what my job is to make wherever I'm at the best I can make it. And let's not forget I did transition a team that was a non-Power 5 school to which back 8 years ago you didn't even talk about it that way. We were in the Big East, which doesn't even exist now from a football perspective. So, back then 8 years ago, my goal was to win football games, and we won 10 games that year and beat Clemson 70-30 in the Orange Bowl. To me, you just do the best job that you can where you're at, and you try to make the current situation better. You try to improve it every year. We do obviously understand that we need to position ourselves to be as attractive as we possibly can. I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen with conference realignment, with how things go with the college football playoff, CFP change. There's going to be all kinds of things happen. And our job is to make us as attractive as we possibly can, not only in our current conference, but for what the future holds as well. And I don't think anybody will disagree with the fact that nobody knows what's going to happen.
Dana over here, Oliver Luck, who hired you at West Virginia, said that was a great move then. He applauds the move now by U of H. What does that mean to you coming from Oliver?
Mark, you know you're holding a camera right there in front, right?
Do two things at once.
Your flash is on and it's bright in here. You're kind of blinding me, bro.
I need extra light.
You want some shine here or what?
You're right. So
It's coming off of me.
Yeah, both of us, you know. Oliver Luck is a great Houstonian. I met him running around these practice fields right here with the Houston Dynamo when he was running that organization, and he's got great vision for a lot of things. And I was fortunate to go work with him at West Virginia University. And he was a part of as I was, obviously, the transition, so there's some similarities to what happened 9 years ago, and where we're currently at now. So, and he's been great for the city of Houston. He's been, he was great for West Virginia University. He's been great for the NCAA, and I hear he's at this league paying him a whole bunch of money right now. We need to hit him up for some money here at University of Houston.
He'll be here this weekend.
He'll be here this weekend. I know Andrew's playing at Reliant, right? So at NRG. I'm sorry, NRG. I'm sorry. I've been gone for a while, so he'll be in somebody's suite here this weekend. We'll hit him up for some money to give to our athletic department.
when we tried to work Mike Leach to get some quotes about you, he said, good luck, congratulations. But anything I wanted to find out about you, I had to go buy his book, Swing Your Sword. So what do you think about him hawking his book while we're trying to talk about you?
It's not surprising. He's saved every penny he's ever made. So I wasn't buying that dang book. I could have read that book in about 30 seconds. I lived it. And I can't. One of the exciting parts of the University of Houston and the football schedule next year is being able to play him Game 3 at NRG. So there you have it.
Dana, you mentioned the college football playoff system. If it was up to you, well, first off, what are your thoughts on the current system that's in place? And if it was up to you, what would you change if you had the opportunity?
Well, it's not up to me, and they don't care what I think. I can assure you of that. It's popular. It's popular. We were in that discussion, pretty much all year long at my previous stop. And when it didn't work out, there was quite a bit of disappointment. So I worry about the future of bowl games. It used to be like, geez, in the last couple of days, me and Tillman have been talking about these bowls that really just so interested in them. Well, geez, we're talking about the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. That used to be like the greatest thing in the world to be able to go to. So I worry about the bowl system when it comes to that, just because I experienced it this year. So I do think something's going to happen. What, I don't know. It's the same conversation as conference realignment. Something's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to be. Our job is to make the University of Houston as attractive of an institution and an athletic department as we possibly can.
Dana, as part of your contract, there was a sizable commitment to the salary pool for your assistants. How much did you push that, or how important was that for you to have that type of resources to go out and hire staff?
It was critical. It was critical. So, running a football program, and I can assure you I'm better at it now than I was 8 years ago. But running a football program is a large business, and so you got to hire a lot of people to be able to build the program the right way. And you got to have money to be able to do it. And I feel really good about the assistant coaches that I've contacted and talked to already, and we're bringing in big time football coaches that have been at big time places and understand what it takes to be to be able to do the things to treat these student athletes and recruit these student athletes the right way.
Coach, what's your level of excitement to be able to come back and have the base of your recruitment be back solely in the state of Texas again?
Yeah, it's important. This state means a lot to me. The high school football in this state is the best in the country. You know, being on the East Coast, I've recruited other states and other areas more so than when I was here the first time. Nobody does it better than the state of Texas. With the resources, with the way they pay the coaches, the facilities, the practice time, nobody does it better. This is the best, and it's the best state, and it's the best city to be able to recruit because of how things work like that. So I'm excited about that, and I can't wait to reconnect with a lot of the high school football coaches, especially here in Houston. You know, Louisiana is a good neighbor too. I mean, the high school football in Louisiana is really good as well. So, you know, that's going to be important to us. You know, get on I-10, go one direction, go the other direction as well, and recruit as many good high school players as we possibly can.
Dana, President has said she has some lofty expectations. She mentioned it there when she spoke. She's been on the record as saying she wants 10-2, 8-4 gets you fired. You won 10 games once at West Virginia. You're coming off an 8-4 season. What makes you the person that's going to meet her lofty expectations?
You want to answer that?
No, it's your question.
I don't want to go anywhere that doesn't have expectations like that. I don't want to be somewhere that doesn't have those expectations. You know, not only is her expectations like that with the football program, but it is just across the entire campus. It is with basketball. It is with this new medical school that's coming in. You know, with getting the academics to Tier 1 status. I mean, she has lofty expectations for everything she touches on this university's campus. And so, you know, I'm ready to roll.
What everybody has to remember is that we don't treat our football program any different than we treat any of our other athletic programs, and what we expect from our students, what we expect from our alumni, and everything that we want to accomplish. There's 6,000, remember, there's 6,000 colleges in the United States of America, and we're number 171 now. We're Phi Beta Kappa now. So don't think it's just that we have expectations for our football program. It's everything we do. And we do expect to win a lot of football games. We don't want to be 8-4, and that's just the way we're made here now at the University of Houston. So one other thing, I've got to recognize Durga Agrawal, who's so supportive of athletics, and then who is my true liaison with the athletic department. Gerald, please stand up, because you helped me so much and advised me so much on our athletic department. And let me just real quick thank the media for no fake news when all this was going on. We really appreciate y'all, and you're so supportive of us. So thank you very much.
Dana, over here. What made the timing of this move right for you?
Well, the opportunity. Things happen fast. You know, I mean, it was. You know, I was coaching hard in a bowl game, and I, went back to my hotel room and hibernated for about 48 hours, and my phone started ringing, and things escalated pretty quickly. You know, so just the opportunity to be able to come, back home, the opportunity to be able to come to U of H and to be in the city of Houston as well.
And real quick follow-up, you mentioned obviously Renew and Chris Pesman, but I know you've had a relationship with Tillman. How much did that mean in this whole process?
Well, I mean, Tillman's been great for the city of Houston. I mean, we've crossed paths a few times here in the last 10 years. Obviously, I mean, when you do the things that he's done, and that really didn't play a huge part in it whatsoever. It was just strictly the opportunity to be able to come to Houston, to come to the University of Houston, and I was excited about his leadership with U of H, being the chairman. That played a huge part in it, and with the leadership of Chancellor Couture, I mean, obviously that's very, very, very important to me. You want to be surrounded by rock stars. You're right, Pez, they're rock stars. They've done a great job. I've lived a long ways away and understood what they've meant to this city and what they've meant to this university. Yeah, I want to be a part of that. So, and excited to be a part of that.
Tillman, with the contract, there's also pretty much says that for at least the first 3 years, if, Dana said this is not a stepping stone, but for the first 3 years, if a school wants him or if he were to leave, it's going to cost. How important was that in terms of language to get that in the contract with the buyout?
Well, it was a very positive conversation the first time we spoke, is the fact that Dana knows that we're not writing contracts here at the University of Houston, and I'm trying to help change it all over the country. It's how the lawyers have totally outdueled the athletic directors with these contracts. But Dana made it real clear he didn't want to go anywhere. So it wasn't even really anything to even disagree about. He just said, whatever you want to do, I'm willing to do, because I don't want to go anywhere. And the way this contract is going, we are stuck with him for a few years, and he's stuck with us for a few years. But hopefully he's here for the next 20 years, and we build a statue of him out there. But somebody better have a whole lot of money if you think he's going to leave in the next couple of years.
President Couture, there's been some talk lately in terms of with your role with the AAC and moving forward with television, that there could be some the ability to sign over your grant of rights. So at least some of the, I guess, what they would consider the upper tier teams in the conference. Do you have any thoughts on where Houston stands on that, or where you stand on that in terms of whether that would be something you would entertain, or what direction the school might go with that?
Well, I'm very proud to be chairing the American Athletic Conference at the time when our TV contract is up and we are in the middle of negotiations. But one thing I can tell you, that we have proven, as our league, we have proven that we are not a non-power conference, so to speak, and that's why our promotional and advertisement branding campaign is a P6, because we've definitely proven we are 5.5, if not, if not anything. And I think we have won games against Power 5 conference schools. So I think we have a value, and viewers look at our value, and we certainly hope that the market will recognize that. And I think all of our schools, I mean, you saw UCF stood up pretty good. I mean, we beat Florida State in Peach Bowl. I mean, haven't forgotten that. They're just enormous success. So I think we'll do very good as a conference. But as our coach said, you just got to have that goal, that you got to dominate your conference, you got to win your championships, because that's the very first step. Because after that, the doors are open for us as to what can happen.
President Couture first, and then Dana. But Tillman mentioned that he doesn't want to go anywhere. But how significant is it that this will be a long-term hire for you, because you've had so much turnover in that position?
Well, you can't keep people here if they don't want to be here, and I'd rather them not be here. You got to put your heart and soul. These are difficult jobs. I'm here because what Houston offers, and I'm sure there are people out there who recognize the same way, that the legacy you leave is more important than how high you can fly, and I think hopefully Dana is one of those people.
To follow up on that, what makes U of H a long-term spot for you when West Virginia was not?
I could argue it wasn't. I mean, I was there 8 years. That's a long time. If any coach that approaches a decade at the same school in today's day and time is a long time. So I've shown commitment, and I understand what I'm getting into here. I understand that there's been 3 coaches in 6 years. So that needs to change here. And why would I want to make matters worse here by doing that? It makes no sense, So I understand what this university needs, what this athletic department needs, what this football program needs. I've done it before, and I plan on doing it again.
Let's do one more question, Brian.
Dana, when you were hired, the press release labeled you as an offensive genius. You mentioned offensive coordinator, and 10 years ago meeting Tillman. When you hear that term, obviously people know you for your offense, the high scoring, working with Will Greer. What do you think when you hear that term associated with you?
Unfortunately, I have to listen to you right now, but I don't read anything. I try to put my head down and do my work. That's what I think. I don't listen to any of the talk shows. I know Mr. Granato thinks I listen to him all the time. I don't. So I just put my head down and go to work. I mean, if you say that somebody had that opinion of me, then I could flip it at 180 and say the same thing in a very negative connotation as well. So I don't listen. I just go to work. You know, I love offense. I love football. It's what I do. It's my passion. I don't want to do anything else. Have the opportunity to continue to do it here.
I did read your column, and he kind of agrees with me and the Chancellor. It's all about winning, and I do like entertainment, so I love reading their columns and listening to them because it is entertainment.
All right, we're going to get everybody to come down here and get a photo opportunity, and then we'll wrap things up.